Hey there, this is Gina from the Embroidery Zone, and I'm going to walk you through this video I made on my phone a long time ago. It's wobbly and it's a mess, but I want you to see how easy it is to make these snap tabs in the hoop. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm stitching the guide run. This is just one single running stitch to show the size of the piece of vinyl that you need to place on top of the hoop. So you're going to stop the machine here and cut a piece of vinyl and just lay it right over the top of that guide run. And what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a small piece of vinyl and I'm spraying the back of it with adhesive, and I always put it in my trash can so I don't get a lot of overspray and make a big mess. And then I'm just placing that right on top of that line that I just stitched. Press it down so it's going to stick. And now I'm going to head back to the machine, put it back in the machine, and push start again. And now it's going to do the actual design. It's going to do the outline and the monogram and all the elements that are in the snap tab. I'll just go ahead and let it run. This particular one has a satin stitch inner border, which makes it look very nice, and it's nice and small. I do have the entire alphabet of this monogram for sale in my Etsy shop, and that's just going to continue on. I might go through and speed this up, but I'll just let it go. Actually, my machine is going super warp speed right here, and it doesn't really go that fast. I usually stitch it at about 800 to 1,000 stitches a minute, and I've made a note here that I'm using the magnetic mighty hoops, which are wonderful. They save your hands from lots of pain of pushing the hoop together. And I think we're now doing the satin stitch. Yes. I can probably speed that up even more. Well, it's not too bad. After this satin stitch is done, it's going to do the monogram. I know when I was first making these snap tabs, I just had no idea, even though I read the directions, but it really does help to see it being done. I think it's going to stitch the flower now on that letter M. Yeah. Each one of these objects in the stitch file, each one of these elements is an object, so you can refer to the PDF file when you get that in your download and see the color object list. So if you wanted to make the M one color and the flower a different color and the satin stitch a different color and the bean stitch, you can edit all of those things and change the colors to your liking. Okay, at this point we're ready to put the back side of the vinyl on. Right here. So we're going to stop the machine and turn it over again. We're going to take the second piece of vinyl that's the same size approximately. Go ahead and put it in the trash can, or whatever you do to stop from overspray. A cardboard box works well. A lot of people will just use tape to keep it in place. Put it back in the machine. And now this part is going to sew both sections, both pieces together like a sandwich. And it's just going to do that bean stitch around the outside edge. I quite often will use cutaway stabilizer, and I know a lot of folks will use tearaway. I think they both work well. I like the cutaway because it actually makes it a little more sturdy. This particular marine vinyl has a white backing, so you can't see the white stabilizer when you cut it. And just cut around the design. I use a little pen or something to mark the centers because I can't do it by eyeball where I want the snaps to be. And just poke a hole through there and attach the snaps. Even this was difficult if you don't know what you're doing. They're so close. One is like a female side and one is like a male side. And you want to make sure you have one of each. It takes 4 little pieces, 2 fronts and 2 backs. And I'm using the snap pliers that helps you understand how to make snap tabs in the hoop. I would love it if you would subscribe. Thanks for watching.